Hello, 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 hello. Sean Brady bringing you another fabulous Medici Marketplace podcast. Here with the fabulous, the one, the only, Brian Lunt. What's going on, my man?
I'm doing all right. That's quite the introduction.
You have to give you an introduction like that in the Scottish room.
Yes, we are in the Scottish room.
We have different themed rooms here at Medici MediaSpace, and for those that are on the podcast not watching this visually, we're in the Scottish themed room. So another reason to be watching on video. If it's not Scottish, it might be something other than I'm not going to say it on a podcast. You never know who's listening.
And as Sean is wonderfully demonstrating, it's almost impossible to walk in this room and not talk with a Scottish accent.
It's called impossible. I don't know I'm shouting, but I am. But seriously, we're here for Marketplace today.
We are.
And Marketplace came together with you, Josh, and Brett Klein. And give us a quick background of what your vision is for Marketplace, because I've been talking to a bunch of other members so far.
Sure.
And I'll talk to a bunch more. As we get more, I'll talk to more. But give us your insights and your perspective, Marketplace.
Well, the primary idea of Marketplace is to really take the community that we've built that has a high concentration of marketing and media experts, and find a way to combine everyone almost into a larger agency structure. We like to call it the unagency. But it really is to take the quality people that we've brought together and find ways to collaborate, which is one of our core values at Medici, and offer up services hopefully at a higher value than what most people are accustomed to. Because we do believe that when you're connected through almost a freelancer's mindset, you're going to create natural efficiencies because you have a meritocracy. You don't have salaried employees that you're trying to, push work to.
Right.
You actually have independent contractors that you're going to hire on a case-by-case basis when they can get the job done. So we think that those efficiencies, the fact that people are working for themselves, will create lower costs for the clients. And we think that combination of people is going to make for a really interesting business.
Yeah, and I like to say it's not even necessarily a lower cost, but you're certainly getting a better value, a better ROI on your marketing dollars, however that looks, because now you're working with people who love working in that niche or space of whatever their marketing expertise is.
Absolutely.
And I think what my intention is for that all these videos or podcasts, for the thing I really want to have people come take away is that, yeah, there's a lot of different people here.
Yep.
And each one does have their own expertise.
Yep.
And when we collaborate together, it goes back to one of our core books, right?
Yes.
Do what you do best and delegate the rest. And why not have it be that way?
Well, and what's really great about that is that we've got a lot of very talented people that we're surrounded by, a lot of generalists, people that know how to do a lot of things well. But what we find is that when you get an entire group of people together, one or two people in that group are going to do individual things better than the rest, even though they're all very capable of getting it done.
Right.
But if you divvy up that project to the people who do it the best, you have this natural tendency to have all ships rise at the same time, and the quality that comes out of that should be much better than folks trying to do everything themselves.
Right. Adam Kreitman talked about this in a previous episode, but I found this to be true the day one of me coming here at Medici, and it's this group. I don't want to say group think because that can have bad connotations, but it's really the group genius that comes together and says, "Hey, have you thought about this angle?" We're like, "No, it was totally in my blind spot. I didn't see that. It was like way back here. I couldn't see it. Way back here, I couldn't see it." Well,
and you speak to a good point, because the reason that Medici Marketplace is almost a subset of Medici MediaSpace is because one of the core tenets of and one of the core reasons behind the Medici name is the diversity side of things. And it's not just diversity in culture, it's diversity in industry, it's whatever kind of diversity that we can bring into the room, because you will have two people who may have never sat across a table from one another talking about a project that they would have never gotten into.
Right.
And you get these individual different types of perspectives, and we call those that exponential effect that helps feed the Renaissance. We hope helps feed Renaissance type of activities and businesses and people within the St. Louis market as well. So
Right.
lots of fun stuff going on.
Oh, give shout outs to people who are watching us on Facebook Live. Annie Adkins, how you doing out there? You in Ohio. And Jenny, is it Jenny? Oh, Jenny Chapman is. Jerry Chapman is watching.
Excellent.
Jerry, what's going on, my man? I haven't seen that guy in forever. He's
Me
out
neither.
in Chicago. Well, you might have seen him online. Well, you see him online right now. You guys can also, for those who also are watching that we can't see, make sure you type something out and say hello or something like that. Or if you have a question for Brian or myself, we can answer something on anything.
We can.
It's very Medici like
Absolutely.
this. But going back to Marketplace, we do have a lot of fun here too.
Yes, it's a core value.
It's a core value, and we don't just it's not just a core value. We actually incorporate it and live it.
Yes, I mean one of Josh is definitely a preacher of the fun spirit, and starts with the TGIM mentality. Our Monday morning Medici Magic meetings are all about thank God it's Monday, because we love coming to work. We love being around the folks that we've brought together.
Right.
We really do believe that your home life, your business life, it all should just be your life. You should enjoy your life. You should want to come to work.
Life.
You should want to be with the people that you're surrounded with, especially at work, because you probably spend more time with the people you work with than you do your own family.
I know. It's like this awesome. So Annie Adkins, she's my life and her coach.
Excellent.
One of my coaches. She and her husband Jay. And one of the things there is you're creating your life by design.
Absolutely.
And it's not a separate life, You a recent father again for the third time with your first daughter. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And I know
Very
that's
tired.
I can't believe you're even up right now. I'd be sleeping if I were you.
I would like to be sleeping right now.
That's much better than paying bills.
But I will say that my wife has it worse than I do. So,
Yes.
when in comparison, I'm doing all right.
You're all right.
Yes.
It's almost like a break coming to work.
It kind of is.
Shh, don't tell her.
Yes, she does.
The other things for Marketplace, what else do you envision the whole Marketplace being? Because you had a vision for Medici.
Sure.
Right? And now it's carried over to a subset of Marketplace where it's marketing-centric and focused people. We have about 30 members so far. We identified 30 different business memberships.
Yes.
Where do you see Marketplace going, and how does it actually impact the end user, the Marketplace?
There's absolutely no ceiling to what Marketplace could do, and part of that speaks to the quality of the leadership that we have, which is Brett Klein. What we have done at Medici, we're almost trying to turn Medici into our own definition, the same way that Google, nobody knew what Google meant before it was Google, but now you go Google something, right?
That's right.
We always say, what is your Medici? Or you Medici'd it, whatever, that means to you. And what we mean by that is that we've created Medici MediaSpace that is a community. It's a group of people that come together, and it's an entrepreneur's playground, whatever you want to call it. And we have taken our structure and challenged others to say, what is your Medici? If you were in charge of this place within your industry, how would you build it? And Brett stepped up. He saw it immediately and said, this is exactly what I want to do. He had stepped out to become a part-time CMO for several companies, and he needed a lot of resources in order to get these projects done.
Yeah.
And Medici MediaSpace already had the community completed and put together, and he just saw it from the beginning. And Brett's one of these guys that is very humble. He is extremely talented.
Yep.
We're very thankful to have him as a part of our team, and it can go as high as he wants it to go. I mean, he has led very large companies. He lived in Macau, China for several years, and has worked in the gaming industry for a number of years in very high-end marketing positions.
That's right. And
he's just got a great ability, and I think we have the capabilities to attract large companies. We have some tremendous companies in St. Louis with the Enterprises and the Edward Joneses of the world.
Sure.
Express Scripts, very, very large companies that tend to go to Chicago. I know you have a sweet spot for Chicago and New York and LA and all these different places to find resources, but we have plenty of resources in St. Louis.
We do.
And our goal is to connect those resources through our abundance mindset. There's plenty to go around. We want everybody to succeed and see if we can create efficiencies by doing so and blow it up.
And it's even beyond St. Louis. I mean, we're talking about virtual memberships because, for those that know or don't know, my background was commercial real estate, and one of the things that we would look at is literally buying properties all around the country. We would look at what? Demographics.
Right.
And, especially now with how technology has brought a lot of things closer. I mean, literally, we have people out, and we're probably 3 different time zones people are watching us live right now.
It's tremendous.
And it might as well be next door or a suburb away. In fact, some of the people who are a suburb away, I see less, than you do, than the people who are online with us right now,
right?
Because it's all brought us that much closer. So absolutely. I know from a commercial real estate standpoint, what are the consistencies that we look for? Well, there's certainly economic demographics. How many large companies are there? What are the technology resources? What's the infrastructure look like? And a lot of that has really leveled the playing field to where now what is everybody looking for? They're looking for good schools.
Yep.
They're looking for, Amazon has definitely been a game changer from, it doesn't mean that retail's gone away,
right? But
it certainly has changed the face of how we all interact, and that brings a whole new opportunity for the unagency of what we're doing, because again, do what you do best, delegate the rest, and that's what we're actually fulfilling on.
Yeah, and I love that you brought out the virtual memberships and connections that we're wanting to establish. We want to have the technology that we can have a meeting with people anywhere in the world, just as if they're sitting on the other side of the screen, right?
Yeah.
And we want to take the talents of freelancers and smaller businesses throughout all of the ecosystem that we create in order to build a collaboration of experts, and those folks can be anywhere.
That's right.
And it's just a matter of coming together with the same type of core values, wanting to work with people, and putting out good services and products and things. So that it's very exciting to start creating something that extends far beyond where we're at. Although I will say I have a very, very, very soft place in my heart for St. Louis, and one of our core values is taking care of our local community. And I have often said that my goal is to make St. Louis the greatest city on the planet. Most people want to improve the city. I want to make it the greatest city on the planet.
I like it.
So that's a different mentality when you go from where we're at,
right.
Which we need some
where
work,
we're at,
to the best.
Yeah.
But we were number 3 or number 4 largest city in the country at the turn of the century, the turn of the 1800s into 1900s,
right?
So we've been there before. Why can't we get back there again?
I think we can.
I believe we can.
We're right in the sweet spot in the middle of the country. Why not?
That's right.
So we can do it.
Absolutely. And that's where the headquarters of the marketplace is, and the headquarters of Medici MediaSpace is.
And it used to be, all the other Panera, who just sold out, right? They had another private equity group invest, but
we did.
All the other ones too. There's a lot of great businesses, Worldwide Technologies.
Yes.
We go on with.
Well, what's interesting is you've seen a lot of trends over the decades with the TWAs and the AT&Ts of the world that have been built here and then moved to other locations, but it takes away from the entrepreneurial mindset, which is a huge piece of what we're trying to spread around. All of these companies started out as a smaller institution. It was one person or a group of people that put this together, and we don't spend enough time really focusing on the entrepreneurial mindset. I think a lot of our leaders politically have gone out to try and entice larger companies, like you mentioned Amazon, this huge Amazon, which is a brilliant PR move, but this huge, beauty contest to try and win over Amazon. You don't need Amazon. You need to invest in all of your people that you have here already, in the schools and the infrastructure and the things that are going on, in order to make the next Amazon. right? Let's build it from within. And so that's a big part of what we're doing with MediaSpace and Marketplace, is that we're really looking at service-based companies and folks that just want to create, a good lifestyle for themselves and a few other employees. They don't have to create the next Amazon. They just got to create a good business and do good work, and good things will happen.
I agree.
Yeah.
I 100%, 110% agree, and you see here, Facebook Live.
Yes.
It's good stuff. What else do we need to cover before we sign off today? Because I know we'll do this again, probably in a different themed room in Medici.
A themed room is a good thing to bring up, as we're sitting next to my vision board in the Scotland
Turn it
room.
center. For those of you on video, here's you go. Vision
give
board.
Give a little peek inside.
What are we looking at now?
The crazy brain of
hey, Becky Navalis, up in Chicago. How are you?
So we have 50,000 square feet of space that we're wanting to fill up here at MediaSpace, and we are creating themed rooms throughout. One of which we're in, which is the Scotland room. We have studio spaces. We have a fitness studio that I'm building. We have a guitar room. We have a kitchen that doubles as a coffee space. The radio station. Lots of really fun places, and interesting things that make your head spin. I mean, the idea is to have different themes, different environments, and different vibes that operate within each space, so that you can really get outside of the box and have a lot of creativity running through your brain as you walk through the space. And so I kind of see it as another wonderful St. Louis institution, the City Museum, kind of the City Museum for a business. And we create different areas throughout, different art projects and fun stuff, just to keep our brains, firing on all cylinders.
It's constantly changing around here,
Yes.
just to feed our creative happiness.
It is.
It is, and it is happy, because we keep doing stuff.
We treat all of our members as partners, and we basically say, we want you to come in on a set of core values,
Right.
Which everybody teases me, but I say cleanliness is a core value.
Yes.
Because if you clean up after yourself, then I don't have to come behind you and clean up after you, and everybody else gets to enjoy in a clean environment, right?
I wish Mike... I'm
But
trying to create that at home.
We also say that you can take all the furniture, you can take all the stuff and create any kind of event or thing that you want.
Right.
Just put it back where you found it.
That's right.
Treat it as if it's your own. Right?
Exactly.
So...
And we have, you've seen some of the other themed rooms, or you can just watch some of the other videos we have posted here.
Yes.
But so far we've been in the photography studio.
Yes.
We've been in an office.
Yes.
We've been in one of our conference rooms. We've been in the art gallery.
Yes.
We'll call it the art gallery at the moment. It's also been our health area at one point.
Yes. We
And
talked about doing a health and wellness focus,
Which we have.
But not dedicated area.
In fact,
Fitness studio.
Fitness studio. Oh, I haven't done the fitness studio yet. Not yet.
That'll be a good one.
Something to see in the future.
Do some push-ups while you're in there.
I'm working on it. I'm at my modified push-up stage.
That'll work.
But my back's getting better, getting stronger.
We can do some stretching.
Without surgery.
Maybe some yoga.
Well, we should have
Maureen Hughes.
Maureen
just showed.
Hughes.
Yep, we could do some
Thai yoga.
Yeah, Thai
right
yoga.
here at Medici.
Mm-hmm.
What else? We have
You did the guitar room, right?
we did the guitar room,
Which
Yep.
is
Brett and I did do the guitar room.
Rock for the Cause.
Rock for the
It's one of
Cause.
our great projects. And then,
Supporting charities across the area.
have you done the green screen?
No, we
Oh,
haven't. We have
green screen
not
would be
done the
good.
green psych room yet. I was kind of waiting for Ted or
Yeah.
one of the other
That'd be
more
ideal to do
media
that.
centric.
Uh-huh. And we're putting together a workshop for two of our members. We've
Yep.
got Craig Caesar, who does the Maker Movement stuff. And I'm actually looking at a 3D printer, not a 3D printer, a CNC machine on auction
What's
right
a
now.
CNC machine?
It's something that can cut out of metal and wood,
Oh.
all the crazy stuff he
Oh,
does.
cool.
I have no idea how it works. I had to ask him. He said we need some kind of fancy computer, but I'll leave that up to him.
Everybody has their own genius.
Yes.
That's not our genius.
No, I just like to tell him what I want to create. And he goes
You're
and
great
does
at procurement and definitely
Then
execution.
Of course, we have the Hope Creates group that just joined us
That's
with
right.
Kathy Thomas. We have it's a nonprofit that helps rehabilitate young adults and teens who are struggling with addictions. And they did
I showed off some of the art.
Did you?
In the other.
They did an art project
with
with
David.
us on Sunday, and we bought them a bunch of drywall pieces, and they graffitied everything. And so we're gonna have graffiti throughout our building. And we have
Exactly.
an old pew that I bought because why not? And we had that graffitied. So I got a Tibetan bell.
Not sacrilege.
We
It
got
was, you know,
we got pianos all over the place and drums, and this place is wild.
it is wild, but you know, it's like the entrepreneurial or adult version of City Museum.
It is.
Except it's
Yeah,
actually
with some media.
entrepreneurial driven, so you can use
Yeah.
it for your business
Absolutely.
and really, you know, get out of the regular office shell.
Yes.
That kind of gets mundane a little bit.
That's-
At least it did for me.
That speaks a little bit to our philosophy of, when you go to a restaurant. So a perfect example is I bought the contents of a Tilted Kilt pub in order to make this Scotland room. But why do we go to restaurants and spaces like that to get away from work?
Right.
And they're all designed like this. Why don't we have spaces like this at our work?
Right. We got that.
So now we have a Scotland room. We have a Tilted Kilt.
Well, we have the guitar room.
We have a guitar room. We got a little coffee
the Brady-
shop.
We do. We have. Yeah. Oh, I didn't do anything in the Medici Cafe.
The cafe. Ooh, I like that. That's
I
good.
know. I like it.
Yeah. And a couple ideas that, to speak to our philosophies is we've talked, because we have the Scotland room, we've talked about doing country themes throughout this portion of the building to kind of be like the UN, United Nations.
Yes.
Good diversity, bringing people together. And then the fitness studio would have an Olympics theme, because the Olympics kind of bring all the nations together as well. So,
I like it.
Well,
and then
we're always trying to think of these things.
What was that thing? It was the trivia question. I went to trivia night, which is huge here in St. Louis, and I'm very thankful for that because it's not necessarily around the country. I mean, bars and stuff, but it's not the same. But one of the questions was, what is the ones, or it was one of two sports that there's no differentiation in the rules between male and female competitors?
I do not know.
I know.
Ooh, intriguing.
Should I share it right now?
Yes.
Should I give it away so you know?
Cliffhanger for next time?
Perhaps. Or should I give it away?
I think you should give it away.
Okay. So one was, and we did our little retreat to the equine stuff. So it actually has to do with equine stuff.
Horses.
Yes. I don't know what the rules are, but supposedly they're same according to that trivia night we went to.
Excellent.
I know.
And is there another one, or is it just equine?
I forgot what the other one was. That's one that stuck in my
have to
throat.
look that up.
I know.
But that speaks to another.
Google it.
Another thing that we do around here is we do a lot of exercises and fun things together. And,
and we've been doing that in our strategy sessions. I've noticed that more. So there's, for those of you who don't know, we get into our strategy sessions, and everybody's welcome to experience one Monday mornings 9 to 11 a.m.
Yes.
And it's been a theme. It's like, okay, it's not just like what do you want to accomplish, it's the why behind it.
Yes.
I know I've been carrying that through for Prosperous Careers, for some of our different networking events, people introducing themselves that way.
Yep.
So people now become more related to that individual or their company, not just by what they do, but why they do it.
And that speaks to why we do our strategy sessions, is that we've often felt that networking is not the ideal environment to best get to know someone. And so we've created this model where we work on each other's projects together, and that way you can hear the advice that people give, the questions that they ask, and then we prod everybody to get a little bit deeper. And some of the information and some of the layers that people reveal within knowing them for half an hour is amazing. I mean, it's we've gotten into some really almost tearjerker type of moments.
I have tearjerked.
It's incredible. We call it Medici magic for a reason, because people come together and they bare their souls, and we get some great stories out of it. So
and what's great too is if you're for someone like me who's sometimes your business is on your own. Now you're getting this different insight from other people, or you're actually seeing your business inside of a completely different business. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, I wouldn't have thought of that. I completely missed that.
Absolutely.
Except you can apply it to your business and your life, and it's one of the joys about being here.
And what's worked really well is the majority of the people that come in understand that if you give your abilities freely to the other members, meaning you give your expertise to them, you get that back 100-fold.
Right.
Because you're just one giving away your expertise.
Right.
But there's 100 other people here that are also doing that, and so you have this huge amount of knowledge and resources surrounding you, and it just makes for a really fun environment.
Yeah, it's
really quality.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's just getting better every day.
I got to ask you this too, because I've been asking everybody else, so I want to stay themed, consistent. Right?
I like it.
So, pet peeves of yours that it's like, oh wow, I wish. And you give the audience a quick background on you. You've done a lot of work with your family has a bank, but you've done a lot of banking type insights, valuations of companies.
Sure.
Before you give out loans or to say, hey, what's going on here? You got to make cash flow work and things like that. What do you wish more businesses did, whether they come to us or not? Maybe they see this video 5 years from now and it's like, oh my gosh, that's so valuable today as it was 5 years ago. What's insightful and helpful for businesses out there? What do you wish they just did or knew?
What I have seen, it's been very beneficial to listen to people week after week talk about their struggles.
Oh yeah,
right. And so
I know where you're going with this.
We get to hear these themes constantly, and the truth of the matter is that you're not unique. Everybody is struggling with something in their business,
right.
But the vast majority of people have very similar struggles.
Yep.
And so my advice is always to talk to much more people and let it out and be very open with the struggles that you're facing, because the odds are that you're going to get a lot more sympathy, empathy, whatever you want to call it, from people who have been through it already, and especially the ones who have been in your shoes struggling are usually available to help.
Yeah.
And so I think asking for help, the people that are my biggest pet peeve are the ones that come in acting as if they have it all figured out. To me, the most intelligent people out there are the ones that ask the most questions. They're constant learners. They're always evolving.
Right.
The people that come in and say, I got it figured out and I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, it's like, you're not going to fit in here, because I'm not all that excited about anybody. And because I like a lot of people. I like a lot of people, but if you're a celebrity, if you think you're famous or whatever it is, it's not going to get me real excited about you. I'd much rather have somebody who is humble and who is willing to give freely of themselves than somebody who is boastful and thinks they have it all figured out. So, the best attribute for me is somebody that comes in asking questions and knows they don't have it all figured out.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go a little different path. I thought you were going to go with, I don't want anybody to steal my idea.
I do. That is a theme as well.
Which is fun. I used to think that way. And then as I got around more people in the M&A world and mergers and acquisitions or different businesses, it's like, I remember this guy I used to do chili cook-offs.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, share the recipe with everybody so they can make your awesome chili.
Yeah.
Like, no! What if Hormel wants to pick it up?
Not going to happen. Because
it's all about marketing.
It's all about execution.
Exactly.
Everybody, thinks their idea is brilliant.
Exactly.
And it could be, but if you don't execute on it, it's worthless. And so you have to get a team of people, or have to have an individual that is just exceedingly good at executing on an idea.
Right.
And I don't care how good your idea is. It doesn't matter.
I
freely give away ideas.
Share it.
I am more than happy if somebody steals it and turns it into something, because then it's wonderful. It exists now,
It'd be nice if they gave you credit for it.
I'd love to have credit, but even if they don't, but
it's not like you did anything with it.
No,
it's just an idea.
Take it.
And what was it? I don't know. Einstein or somebody else said that the idea is just the tip of the iceberg.
Absolutely,
it's the 90% below the surface.
Yes,
all the work that needs to be done. That's what people don't want to do.
Yeah, I don't.
Even if they have the best ideas in the world.
I can't imagine somebody just having an idea and it being valuable enough to steal. I mean, maybe
not
a
just
recipe or something. I don't know, but I don't know.
But it's not just the recipe.
There's so much more to it.
It's like, I have the best barbecue recipe. And it's like, well, do you have the best barbecue recipe that you can do 1,000 times a month? Yeah. Over consistently, the same way, boring, tedious, repetitious, just
repetitive.
Thank you.
That's the word you're looking for.
That's what I'm looking for.
It's all good.
That's where Medici comes into play.
Yes.
Help each other out. It's all good.
Agreed.
But that's a fun thing.
Yes.
Brian, it's always great talking with you, especially on camera.
Absolutely.
I know.
In the Scotland room.
In the Scotland room. All right. Well, this has been a long, long video, and it'll make for some great content down
Absolutely.
the road. So we'll sign off on our podcast. Thank you for listening. We're going to do a little 3, 2, 1, and appreciate y'all being here. Look for us all over social media.
All right.
Yeah.